Welcome to Wet and Worthy Woman. Not just a podcast, but a global revolution. A movement of women taking back the burned, silenced, suppressed, shamed, and forbidden parts of our feminine truth. You're here to heal the rebel woman way and take back all that you've been told not to be as a woman. Join me, Charlotte Little, founder of The Wild Femme, trauma survivor and liberation leader, to reclaim your ancient feminine codes from society, shame, and suppression as we have these juicy, rebellious conversations to set your soul free. Prepare to fuck yourself back to freedom, and welcome to the Wet and Worthy Woman Revolution. Hello, beautiful loves, and welcome to today's episode. I felt a bit fancy. We're doing a video, although I have to say, doing a video episode during the Shameless series feels like a little bit of an initiation for me because I'm not loving it. I feel like I can get more in the flow when it's just me and the mic, and now I'm seeing myself on a screen and it's weird. So welcome to today's episode. Shall we have a little life catch up? Because this is so closely linked to the theme of today. I seem to have activated some kind of a savage devotion to the woman that I want to become. I was sick of hearing myself complaining and whining. Complaining about not making the money I want to make, complaining about not having the success and the business and the impact I want to make, complaining about my anxious attachment and feeling so needy and clingy and too much and having the same fights in my relationship. And I was like, you know what? It gets to a certain point where you've been on the healing and the healing and the healing and the healing, and it becomes this thing where you just need to make a fucking decision not to be that person anymore. You don't need to heal another layer and go to another therapy session. Sometimes it's just about breaking up and cutting cords with the version of you that you are sick and tired of. And I did a post about that on my Instagram. It was very savage, very delicious. I invite you to go and check it out. Instagram will be in the show notes, or you can just search for @TheWildFemme, where I put the old version of you has expired. She has literally expired. You will get sick of your own bullshit. There will be some point on your conscious awakening, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, feminine journey, where you get sick of the old version of you. You are so ready to up level that staying small and staying in that old version becomes more painful than just making the fucking decision to up level. And that is a lot closer to today's episode than you think. Today's episode is around the fear of receiving. And me and my man were just brainstorming some really explicit titles for this. His version, I like it, I'm going to tell you, how to feel him 10 times more. And I'm sorry for the heterosexual language today. If I speak heterosexually, please translate it into your preferred lover gender. If you are making love to non-gender binary humans or to women, this episode is still going to be so for you. I actually had a man comment on my Instagram post about this, and he was like, I'm a man and I needed to hear this. So everyone in the room, take a fucking seat. Take multiple seats. We are ready to hear this information because, yeah, I know you, babe. I know you. There's a version of you right now who's probably a little bit stuck in her head in the bedroom. Are you, when he's licking your pussy, for example, are you afraid of oral, for one? And two, if someone is licking your pussy, are you in your head about your stubble, about the way you smell, about what you have to do tomorrow? Are you in your head about fantasies? And this has blown our minds because me and my man have been noticing there's been some head activity, some fantasies interrupting the beautiful present moment in our intimacy. And this snapped us out of it. So I cannot wait to share this with you. If you can't receive, if you're the woman who feels guilty for receiving, like when a lover actually wants to focus on you, you can't. Or if you're the woman who wants and needs a little bit more time in the bedroom, a little bit more slowness, but you're too ashamed to ask for it. You go to ask for more, you go to ask them to slow down, to take their time, you need a bit more foreplay, everything's feeling a bit rushed, but as soon as you go to ask for it, your voice chokes. There's something there around receiving, and it's not what you think it is. It's not necessarily your sexual shame. It's not necessarily that you don't feel worthy of receiving. It's what I'm about to share with you today. So if you are finding that your sex life is being sabotaged by your insecurities, by your mind chatter, the fucking noise in your mind that won't shut up. You don't feel safe to be fully present in your body. It feels safer to be in your mind than inhabit your body when you're having intimacy and fully feeling what's happening for you. Which, by the way, is the main fucking cause of numbness, but that's for another episode. I've got loads of episodes on numbness. If you just type in the word numb into the search bar of the podcast, you will find a lot about that and being present with your body, amplifying and feeling your lover 10 times more. But today is one layer deeper because I know you, baby. You are so connected with yourself. You have done deep work. You have been on your dark feminine awakening journey. You have been working on your sexuality. You have been to the woman's circles. You've had the tarot readings. You've done the fucking spiritual shit. You are not new to this game. So I'm going to give you the level up. It's not about worthiness of receiving. It's about this. And I'm going to start with a little story of how this happened for me this week. So I'm currently in a container called Transmission with India Descala. If you don't know her, please look her up on Instagram. She is the queen of taking your feminine expression to the next level and turning it into art to amplify your business. I am so on that vibe right now. Hence the word savage coming up a lot in my content and in today's episode. So in Transmission, India invited us on an artist assignment to make art that was way beyond performance, to make art that was so deeply raw and real and felt. She wanted to feel us in the content we were creating. We needed to get off the surface level performance of what we think Instagram wants from us and go way deeper than that. So I went out on my little artist assignment. I had a bag full of flower petals, full of honey, because I wanted to pour honey on my face and do something erotic with that. I had some duct tape to represent the silencing of myself, to represent the good girl, to represent the silencing of women worldwide. So I was ready with all my fucking props. I was going to shoot some film down by the ocean, and I knew that there was this natural pool that I really wanted to shoot in. And on the way to the natural pool, I found this empty beach. The beach was so perfect. No one knew about it. It was a small little cove in between the bigger beaches. So I climbed down the rocks. No one had stepped on the sand. The sand was smooth and sparkling, and it was just ready for me to turn into a fucking savage. And I started to film as the ocean was coming in behind me. I started to film this frustration that I was feeling around the old version of me, around the version of me who's been chasing my man for more time, more attention, and not actually giving it to myself. I wanted to express the rage that I felt for complaining and whining about my business rather than fucking doing something about it. Note on that, I hired a business mentor again this week. So, you know, you just take the fucking action, don't you? Been whining about it for so long, but you can actually just pay someone to help you sort it out. Funny that happens. So this savage devotion to who I'm becoming meant breaking up with the old version of me. And I wanted to film that breakup. That was the assignment from India, to capture this letting go. So on this beach, I was grabbing the sand, I was rubbing it all over my skin, the ocean was coming up behind me and I was splashing the water. I was fucking angry. And this was real, way more real than the art that I made later when I got to the natural pool and I filmed this cleansing of like descending into the water and letting the old me die and being reborn. That piece on the beach, the unplanned, the messy, the in the moment real expression of my anger and frustration, that was the best piece of content I got. And a man arrived on the beach whilst I was doing that. You know, I was growling and hissing, I was savage and feral, but I didn't stop. The man sat down on his towel. He was having a nice time, and I didn't stop. I stayed shameless in my savage devotion to the woman that I was becoming, and no one was going to hold me back from getting that content and building the fucking most epic business of my life and impacting so many women's lives and with the Unworthy Woman method. And I wanted to capture that. So that shamelessness on the beach was a portal that I didn't realize. That evening, I was home, I'd done some work, my man had been surfing, we had dinner together, and we wanted to get an early night. But when I walked into the bedroom, he said to me, "Where's your blindfold?" And I gave it to him, and I knew that I was in for a fucking ride. So he asked me consent, he blindfolded me, and he said the words that melted me, melting any woman who hears this from their lover. He said, "Everything is gonna be so slow and gentle, okay?" So I obeyed. I descended into the darkness behind the blindfold and I let him seduce me slowly, slowly stroking my skin, taking off my underwear, stripping me naked. It's fucking vulnerable to be there as a woman. And I felt shy. I felt some shyness coming up, and I expressed that shyness, and I was giggling and laughing. And every time I tried to reach for him, to touch him, to give him some pleasure, because I was so in my pleasure at this point, he would push my hand away and say, "No, just receive." Ugh. If you're a like feminine woman who's on her awakening journey and you know that that's what you want, you know you're this woman that's been in control of everything for most of her life, especially if you're a leader or you're an ambitious woman who wants to be of service, you are aching for the control to be taken away from you. But it is fucking shadow work to actually allow it. It is fucking deep work to actually let go and let someone just focus on you and give to you. It's fucking shadow work to release the shame of being selfish, to release the shame of receiving and just fucking receive. And he instructed me to do that. Sacred woman, I need to invite you to touch your vagina. Yes, you heard me. This is the practice that changed my entire life. De-armoring or yoni mapping is the process of applying still, loving touch to specific energetic points on the inside and outside of your vagina and your vulva to release the trauma from the past that keeps you stuck in loops of sexual shame, faking it, pretending you can feel something whilst feeling numb as fuck in the bedroom. De-armoring allows you to release the past, the memories in your body of all the times that you were rushed, forced, and things were too fast. These create micro tears in the tissues of your vagina. Just like a knot in your shoulder, your beautiful pussy also stores tension. We are not taught that she needs love, not just sex. She needs to be held. And de-armoring is so life-changing because it is the ancient massage practice that allows you to hold this part of your body with no agenda, solely love. This will create a deep sacred bond with your body, one that allows you to actually feel when you're ready to be penetrated, so that you can hold better standards and better boundaries in the bedroom and have your body met in ways that are so deeply pleasurable and also feeling fucking sacred and not pushed or unmet or unsatisfied in the bedroom anymore. So I'm inviting you into Wise Nectar, my de-armoring program, where I have recorded you 4 bespoke journeys to release the trauma, the tension, the numbness, and the painful memories from your sexual past and be reborn into a beloved, deep, true, real, sacred connection with your pussy. It's time to claim the sex life and the bond with your body that you have always deserved. And it's only £47 because every woman deserves access to this practice. It will change your life. It will allow you to feel things you never thought you can feel. So the link's going to be in the show notes for you, my love. Please give yourself this time to just spend 45 minutes in stillness with your body to feel what she's ready to let go of. I love you. You're so brave for saying yes to this. And the deeper I dropped into just receiving, not trying to give to him, not trying to express my gratitude, but just relishing in the slow, delicious touch and pleasure that he was giving to me and my whole body, I started to sob. My heart was cracking wide open. And it used to be like this all the time. At the beginning of our relationship, I was crying during sex all the time. It was easy to receive. I felt very safe. But since getting married and moving here and doing our visa for Spain and it's been a lot of stress. There's been a lot of unsafety in my nervous system. And I realized that I've been armored for months against him. The person I love the most. I was protecting myself from him and the heartbreak that I thought might be coming because now I've gone all in on this relationship. I was resisting his safety so much, resisting his provision, resisting receiving. I was resisting trusting. And in this moment that he had control and invited me into that surrender, all the walls, all the self-protection just crumbled apart. And it was no fucking coincidence. And this is the piece I really, 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 really want you to receive. It is no coincidence that the day that I spent meeting myself, meeting my business, my mission, my body, myself in the most savage, shameless depths of my feminine expression. It is no coincidence that that was also the day that I could finally crack open to him, that I could receive. It's no coincidence that that was the day that he wanted to worship me and just focus on me. If you are a woman who is done with surface level love, with mediocre sex, if you are done, if you are aching for more depth, more sacredness, more slowness, more awareness, more consciousness in your love life, in your intimacy, if you want it tantric and spiritual, if you're done playing on the surface in your relationships, then you have to 10 times your savage feminine expression. Because why? You can only be as soft and surrendered as you can be savage. If you have been staying on the surface of your spiritual journey of light and love and crystals, if you've just been playing in the lightness and avoiding your savagery, avoiding your wild, your rage, your too much, if you've been silencing your needs and trying to be the soft girl, that is not the way to deep surrender. That is not it. And I describe it like this, that if you do a hard workout, you can sleep much better afterwards. You can relax much more because you worked hard, you wore yourself out, and the surrender comes so much easier. It's the same in your feminine expression. If you can go to the depths of your anger, your rage, your truth, your power, your sex, your erotic, slutty whore, if you can really go into her, then that soft woman that you are searching for, that surrender that you are gagging for, that is going to come as a byproduct with so much ease. So many women I see are out here trying to access surrender through regulating their nervous system. And yes, you need to fucking regulate your nervous system. That's great. But you won't find true softness, in my opinion, as a woman. In my experience of working with 700 women, 65 couples, 5 years of doing this work on making people feel safe in their sexuality again, you can't get to the softness and the surrender that you crave by just meditating your way there, by getting massage, by going to the spa, by meditating, by yoga, by like the soft. You find your softness in the shadows. That's where I found mine. And this week was such an embodied reminder of that if I was to ask you, you're a connected woman, right? You are super connected. You have been doing the work. You have been journaling, meditating, going to the events, doing the psychedelic journeys. You might have even taken ayahuasca in the jungle. You have probably traveled the world. You've done epic shit to unlayer yourself from the matrix of society. You have done the work to be here listening to this episode right now, to even have the self-awareness that you're a woman who needs to do work to receive more. So that woman is deep. That woman that you are, she loves the depth. She loves the intensity. She loves a good psychedelic journey. She loves unlayering her consciousness from what she's been conditioned to believe. She loves meditating. She loves moving, probably ecstatic dance, probably tantra, probably breath work. Am I speaking to you? Yeah. So, woman, self-aware, deep woman. Are you really, truly reaching the deepest depths of your feminine expression? Or are you still performing your sexuality, stuck in your head, putting on the lingerie for your embodiment practice that the world wants you to wear, rather than actually being in the truth of your savage, true expression? And this is what we unlayer in pillar 3 of Wet and Worthy Woman. When we look at the resurrection of who you truly are, the remembering of what your sexuality actually is in your body, not the society, patriarchy, Playboy magazine version of what you think you need to do to look attractive and sexy, because that's what's distracting you in the bedroom and stopping you from receiving. You are trying. You are thinking. And how you obliterate that layer that is in the way of you fully, deeply surrendering and receiving from yourself as well, in your own self-pleasure practice, from your fucking food, when you're eating a meal, to actually enjoy, to receive from life, to receive abundance and gifts from the universe. This is so much more than if you're in a relationship or not, or if you're having sex with someone or not. Receiving is for your fucking life. To receive from God, universe, the cosmos. To receive from yourself, rest, pleasure. To receive that deeply, to go into full-bodied surrender where you're having a fucking full-body orgasm just standing in the sun. To be that cracked open to life, you got to also crack open to the dark parts that you've been avoiding. And by the way, that's a really fun process. The word dark, just assess how you received that right now, because I'm not saying that expressing your anger and your darkness and your shadows and your trauma, that gets to be fucking fun. That's what we do in Wet and Worthy Woman. We make that process so playful and fun that you don't even realize that your nervous system is rewiring and your whole body is rewriting your relationship to your sexuality because you're having a fucking great time. That's the point of healing. I'm done with this heavy, serious outlook on the shadow work. The shadow work is hot. The shadow work is erotic, sexy shit. And that's what I'm going to invite you into. If you are the woman who's ready to break up with the mediocre, to break up with the mediocre version of herself, her expression, her pleasure, and her love life, then Wet and Worthy Woman is the room that you need to be in, my love. This is the room where you obliterate the shame and the programs that are keeping you small, that are keeping you overthinking. This is the room where you descend back into your body, but not just your body, but the truest, most original version of you before the conditioning, the shame, the suppression, the sexual trauma, whatever happened to you to make you hide, to make you feel like you can't just lie there blindfolded and have your pussy licked for hours. You deserve that level of surrender, but it comes from you, not them. It comes from you deciding to be the woman who can go deep with herself so she can let someone else go deep with her. But it starts with you. And if you want to go that deep, and if this year is the year that you say, fuck yes, to the woman that you say you want to become her, but how devoted are you really to becoming her? You say you're done with the shit, disappointing sex. You say you're done with the mediocre people that can't really go that deep with you, but are you really devoted to becoming the woman who can be tantric in the bedroom, who can have herself crying on his cock? Are you really devoted to becoming that woman? Show up for her. Enter savage devotion to her. Pay what you need to pay. Go on the fucking retreats. Go on the solo holidays. Do what you need to do to become her, my love. I promise you it's going to be the best fucking choice that you make. So Wet and Worthy Woman, the retreat is happening one more time in March 2026 in Spain. I also have an extremely exciting online version coming for you. If you know that you can't make it to Europe this year, then I have something phenomenal coming very, very soon. You need to be following me on Instagram. The doors are going to open to that any fucking day now. There's already a woman emailing me asking, how can I do Wet and Worthy Woman online? So that space is going to fill up really fast. So make sure you join me on Instagram to get the first invite to that. And yeah, let's get fucking savage so that we can really meet ourselves in that softness and fully crack ourselves open to receive. If today landed for you, you know what to do. DM me on Instagram, share it on your Instagram, and tag me if you want a special gift from me. And share it with a friend, a woman you know is confiding in you and telling you how hard it is for her to be intimate right now. And that, yeah, she's not connecting with her body and she doesn't feel worthy of receiving from a lover. Then send this to her, because I truly think this is the piece we don't talk about enough. I love you, my love. And I'll see you in the next one for the final chapter of the Shameless series. Today was all about shamelessly receiving, being a little bit more selfish and savage with your feminine expression. So go out there, get savage, stay wet, and stay worthy.